What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from May 20th, 20, 2021, at Nashville, Tennessee, at the Skyway Studios with Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown as your commentators. And this was the fallout of the Siege. So let's not waste any time, folks. Let's get right to everything that happened here, especially for the one thing I need to talk about most likely that might happen during Slammiversary. Now, am I going to fall for it based on how they did it? We'll see. It only depends. By the looks of it, everything has been going well. So far, when it tends to Impact Wrestling doing what they gotta do to prevent any type of COVID-19 situation, which they have been doing a good job of it so far, and basically it's going to involve a lot more with changing New Japan Pro Wrestling, with New Japan stars coming in, and I love it. Impact Wrestling doing everything right, making amends after all these years of both sides not agreeing to one another and not wanting working together anymore because of circumstances, from years ago, with poor management and whatever have you and everything and all that. So I'm happy that Impact Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling are working together once again. Now during the time they were when they were working together, it was at the time called TNA Wrestling. Now, I love for Impact Wrestling to go back to that, to being called TNA Wrestling once again, Total Nonstop Action. Especially when they brought back the TNA World Heavyweight Championship title. Now that Kenny Omega is in possession of it. Because before it was Moose and then Rich Swann, and now Kenny Omega's got it. Hopefully that will lead to something like that. But will that happen? I don't know. Because it's just a matter of if they want to go back to being called TNA Wrestling again, to have an identity, instead of just be called Impact Wrestling. But I digress. But anyways, the show opened up first with Impact Wrestling dedicating the memory of Jerome Young, aka New Jack. The way they did this too, they had a couple of pictures of him, candle lights for him, and memorial, in memories of him and everything. So out of all the guys that passed away, for years, that Impact Wrestling, TNA, whichever you want to have you, even returns to them at one point being called Global Force Wrestling, because Jeff Jarrett was there at one point, and then he fucked up. And that was 2017. But so of all the people that I can remember that passed away over the years, you show only names of them instead of showing pictures of them. Any pictures that you could find of them, to pay memory of them, say in memory of them and all that, blah blah blah. But for whatever reason, you do it for New Jack. And I should know how I feel about New Jack. For the things that he did, covering on the whole Dark Side of the Ring for him last year. He almost gave me nightmares of things that he's done. Back in the days of ECW, back in the days of XPW, the days of other promotion he was in, where he tends to being this old man who his gimmick is that he sells everything, and there's one guy he didn't want to work for him. Where they want to do in the match, he stabbed him. Basically, New Jack was the type of guy who attempted murder in a wrestling match, where in a wrestling match you're supposed to be protecting your opponents. You're supposed to be working with your opponents and everything, not by breaking the rules of wrestling, breaking the law of wrestling, by attempted murder to your opponents. Whatever issues of behind the scenes, whatever, it doesn't matter. When you get in that ring, you're a professional wrestler. You're supposed to be there, and your opponent is trusting you to of that person giving up that body to you to do whatever you want to do, but do it in a safe way, do it in a way where you can protect them, and you go against that. I don't see you as a professional wrestler. I see you as a reckless, unprofessional wrestler that I've ever seen, and ever heard of. So do I feel sorry that New Jack's dead? No, I don't feel sorry for him at all. And this is coming from a guy who used to like New Jack until I heard about the things that he did. So I'm sorry if I don't feel any grief, if I don't feel sorry for the passing of New Jack, because to be honest with you, pertains to all the things that he's been through, all the smoking cocaine, doing all the drugs and all that, and all that, which led to him having a heart attack. He had what coming to him. I'm sorry if anyone feels that way. If I feel that way, then tough shit. Moving on. Roy Rajul with Shira at ringside versus Jake Something. Roy Rajul and Jake Something had a good match. Pretty good damn match. Where all of a sudden we get the finish where Jake Something was going to give him a suplex back in the ring. All of a sudden, Shira trips him, holds his foot down, and Shira gets the win over on Jake Something. And after the match, Jake Something went right after. Shira basically beats him up, destroys him with a steel chair to the on the rampway, in the ring onto a table, except for one thing. When Shira got speared through the table, because Shira was not in the right position, the table basically broke from like from the bottom way of it. It didn't break in the middle. Basically, it was supposed to break in the middle, but Shira, who's garbage, was in a wrong position, and Jake Something just went with it. At this point, there's nothing he can do. So either way, Shira they went through a table, but not the way that they expected him to go through a table. So Shira fucked that up. But no surprise there. He's garbage. And yeah, that was it. And Rui Rajul was on the ramp that's what I meant to say. He was on a ramp watching all this going on, and he did nothing about it. Excuse me. So there you go. Tonight Ashwood with Kill for K. They interrupt Taylor Wilde being interviewed by Gina Miller, pretends to happen at Under Siege. And Taylor Wilde basically calls out the Knockouts champion Deanna Purrazzo. But then Tonight Ashwood suggested that they should challenge for the Knockouts tag team titles, and Taylor Wilde is like, once again, she's not here to win tag belts, to be in a tag team. She wants to go after the singles title of the Knockouts and everything. By the way, Kill for K. Also, he's healed up from his neck. He removed the neck brace and everything. I said to myself, about time. But yeah, there you go. That's basically it. And we'll get to more of these other them later. So because Tina Dashwood she had a match later on. So we'll get to that later. Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering are basically visibly upset. They were being interviewed by Gina Miller about the loss to Fire and Flavor from Under Siege. Jordan Grace was going to talk to Scott Demoy in the office to request a match, and we'll get to how that transpired later on. Because next we get to Kiera Hogan with Tasha Steelz at ringside versus Tina Dashwood with Kill for K at ringside. The match I thought was decent, and Tina Dashwood got the win over on Kiera Hogan. And after the match, we had Tasha Steelz went right after Tina Dashwood from behind, and Kill for K getting involved there. All of a sudden, you get Kimberly and Susan coming out. Why? I don't know. And Deion Person came out there too, by the way. But again, why they came out there, I don't know. I don't know what beef they had with Tina Dashwood other than Kimberly and Susan having beef after on the Siege. But other than that, but yeah, but they end up the heels end up beating up on Kill for K and Tina Dashwood, and also Taylor Wilde comes out there not to save Tina Dashwood. She came out there to go after Deanna Purrazzo, and then Susan and Kimberly helping out. She starts fighting them off, but then also the Numbers gang got the better of them. And then Havoc came out, and she came out there to offer the save. All of a sudden, the heels start leaving. The faces stand tall. Havoc, Tina Dashwood. I mean, if you want to call her a face. Killful K and Taylor Wilde all stand there at rings tall. As Fire and Flavor, Deon Perazo, Susan, and Kimberly on the right way. Also, I'm here, Decay's music hitting. And basically they were surrounded. All of a sudden, they run away, that way, to the the guardrail. Even Susan, because keep in mind, Susan is Su Young, the undead bride. You think something like that, like Rosemary and Decay, that's of an element, will help trigger Su Young, in a way. But no, she just runs away with the heels. They all run away because not only Decay came out, but because again they were surrounded. There was no way for them to escape. So they decided to exit stage left, or in that case, or the way I see it, exit stage right. Terrible. Also, we get Jordan Grace, who informs Rachel Ellery that they have a match at talking to Scott Demoy, and she says, "Oh, who we're facing?" And Jordan Grace says, "We're facing each other." And then Rachel Ellery is like, "Huh?" So yeah, Jordan Grace, I'm assuming this was her idea, because Rachel Ellery didn't go with her, pertains to this whole thing. Because she was waiting on to hear what Jordan Grace had to say, pertains to talking to Scott Demoy. So I'm this is my theory. Jordan Grace went there because she wanted to to test herself if she can beat this, if she's still the same Jordan Grace from that who was once Knockouts champion, and the test herself is to go up against Rachel Ellery, who's basically pertains to the wrestling and all that, and pertains to the matchup. They're basically they're basically the same way. Rachel Ellery and Jordan Grace. They bring a different element in wrestling where they're both evenly equal. So we'll get to that match later though. New Japan Pro Wrestling legend Satoshi Kojima, a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Well, a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, I should say. Speaking of that situation, folks, I'll get to that momentarily whenever I do my New Japan stuff reviews. But he's coming to Impact Wrestling. Great. I can't wait to him come to Impact Wrestling. Kojima. I always love Kojima. And he's still in good shape. Avengers are being interviewed by Gina Miller that they're going to defeat Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, and they're going to head back to New Japan Pro Wrestling with the Impact World Tag Team belts and everything to prove to everyone that they're not just the best tag teams in Japan or Impact Wrestling, but all over the world. And we'll get to that match. That ends up being the main event, which we'll get to that later. VSK is back on Impact Wrestling, going up against P.D. Williams. And the match was good. Both guys looked very good in the match, especially VSK. VSK basically is being portrayed as a heel here. But yeah, they have a very good match. A lot of back and forth, a lot of counters at the counters and all that. In the end, it was P. Williams getting the Canadian Destroyer, which VSK sold it pretty good. The best selling I've ever seen of a Canadian Destroyer was from VSK. And like I said, P. Williams got the win. Gia Miller, she interviews the former Impact World Champion Rich Swann about making his return to Siege and come to the aid of his friend William Mack. And so basically, Rich Swann talks about how after receiving the end of losing the belt and everything, talking about how he came back to help out William Mack, what pertains to W. Morrissey, what he's all about and everything. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, basically I got one of those scare jumps that W. Morrissey just big boots Rich Swann, and I'm like, holy shit, and basically beats him up and everything, and then slams the right into the exit door and everything. As he's looking him down and everything, and they cut away. And I see myself, okay, so we're come back to this later on. Maybe they could show what happened during the break, what he did. Maybe he slammed the door on him, and maybe he put more beating onto Rich Swann. Nope, never came back to that. They just show W. Morsley doing what he did, throwing Rich Swann through the exit door and all that. That Rich Swann sold pretty well, and just having him stare down on Rich Swann, and with the commercial, and came back from commercial, and nothing happened after that. Not even an update what happened with Rich Swann from the commentators. No one. They didn't tell us what happened with Rich Swann after that. So I don't know. Yeah, even Jim Miller was on screaming like someone get help and all that, help, everything for Rich Swann. No help from any securities, no help from anyone whatsoever to see what happened afterwards when they came back from commercial break. They just never talked about it. They just moved away from it. All right. We go to Swingers Palace. TJP wins some money, and well, actually he didn't win money. He went back Fallah Bahh. Here, his name is Fallah Bahh. So we see Alicia Edwards, who's now part of the Swingers, the Swingerellas and all that. And also we see Fallah Bahh in the same outfit that the Swingerellas are wearing. And I think he calls himself the Barbarella or something like that. And he was doing it, and the reason why he did it is because he's broke. He needs money. That's why he did it. And the TJP was like, you know what, I was trying to look for you and everything because we're tactic partners and everything, and we could have won on the match on the Siege and everything. So he's like, he's played some kind of bet, to win back Fallah Bahh, and he did. He won back Fallah Bahh. So he got Fallah Bahh to be a tag team partner again, and I see myself good because to be honest with you, they should never broken them up in the first place. It's never, they didn't break up, between to with TJP turn on or anything. It just split them up for no reason, because they wanted Fallah Bahh to do his own thing, which it was a couple of us entertaining until we get to this part where him in a woman's dress is not entertaining. So at least TJP won him back so he could get out of that dress. So basically, because he wants to follow behind him to be quite the tag belts, P Wins took offense of this, and he says, you know what, I joke with Josh Alexander anyway because they're Canadian and everything. So they basically they told to Scott Moy, where it tends to they can have a match, and basically it's gonna be TJP and Fallah Bahh versus Charles Alexander and Petey Williams, which I'm actually cannot wait to see. So, and I'm being serious, by the way. I cannot wait to see the match. I think it's gonna be good. Oh yeah, also before this segment ended, Decay showed up out of nowhere, and once Decay showed up, Johnny Bravo has history with Rosemary because they almost got married. So they had to revisit that whole thing again. So then Hernandez, who's on the bodyguard, who works for Johnny Swinger, and the Swingers Palace thing, who's a bouncer who escorted them out. But Rosemary said, we can leave ourselves and everything, and that was it. And they just decayed, and that was it. So there you go. Number to say. Moose, he comes out to address his victory on the Siege. Moose gives credit to Kenny Omega for defeating the best talent from all over the world, but Omega has never defeated someone like Moose, who is a 5-star athlete, a walking legend, a pro wrestling god, and everything. And he says that against all odds, he's going to beat him for the title. All of a sudden, Don Callis and Kenny Omega comes out to interrupt, to basically praise Moose for being an incredible and physical with his physical physique and everything. and for being the guy that he will basically saying that he's gonna come up short against Kenny Omega against all odds, and basically it tends to just like he was in pro wrestling, just like he said something about that he will come up short, just like he always has in his pro wrestling and NFL career, I meant to say. So then Moose basically threatens both Callis and Callis and Omega, meant to say, because they bring him down and all that. So Moose decided to return the favor and all that, and all of a sudden the Good Brothers came out, and they was gonna beat up on Moose. All of a sudden Sami Callihan comes out of nowhere, and joins along with Moose to chase away the Elite. Callihan had a baseball bat. I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. So nothing really happened. No fighting whatsoever. It almost did, but Callihan came out there and basically helped out Moose to chase him away and everything. So and that was it. Impact Wrestling helps the Good Brothers to promote Talkin' Soup, their podcast, whatever show, whatever that is supposed to be. After looking at this, I say to myself, yeah, and this is why I don't want to get behind the Good Brothers anymore. After seeing Carl Anderson, that ridiculous outfit that he was wearing, and God knows what they're gonna have that guy was doing. And the show, it's just a clown show. That's what it is. I wasn't entertained how they showed it, and I don't care for it. So, moving on. Moose stops Sami Callihan backstage and tells him that he didn't need his help. But Callihan said, I didn't come out there to help out you. I came out there because he's sick and tired of Kenny Omega running rough shot in Impact Wrestling. And he says that no matter what happens against all odds, he wants that Impact World title back, and he's gonna claim the belt that he rightfully deserves, that he should have never lost. And there you go. So yeah, Sami Callihan's gonna be the one up in line for the title match at Slammiversary after Against All Odds. I don't see any other logical way to put it, because I thought Moose was gonna be the guy to go to Slammiversary for the title match, and Callihan should have went after Omega at Against All Odds, but instead they decided to go with Moose. And the reason I think they're going with Moose too is because recently there was reports saying that Moose did resign with Impact Wrestling, but then Moose basically declined it. Has denied those rumors, denies those reports, meant to say that he did not sign a new contract and everything, which makes me wonder, is Against All Odds is going to be his final match for Impact Wrestling because he didn't resign yet? Because if he doesn't resign, that means he's going to be going elsewhere. And if that's the case, where's he going? Is he going to go to New Japan? Is he going to go to MLW? Is he going to go to AEW? Or is he going to WWE? Wherever his future holds, it's up to him. If he resigns from Impact Wrestling, I hope he does, because I think Moose has a lot more value in Impact Wrestling after for all the time he can come to Mr. Impact Wrestling. And then finally, when he opened my eyes and see that he is Mr. Impact Wrestling, made me regret the Ring of Honor. Because again, think about this too. He came from the first time I ever seen Moose was in Ring of Honor, and even Don Callis mentioned this in this promo where it him being in Ring of Honor. He couldn't even be world champion in Ring of Honor, and that pissed me off, by the way, when I heard about that, because he should have been world champion in Ring of Honor, because Moose during that time he was good too. Now he was not in the best shape that he was in before, but he was still an amazing athlete for the things that he could still do. But I don't know where Moose goes. I don't know if he's going to still stay in Impact Wrestling or if he's going to go elsewhere. Hopefully I can still see him, because he's one of my favorites in the business, and it's gonna be a tough loss there if he is gonna be leaving Impact Wrestling. If this is his last match, leading to Against All Odds, I wish him nothing but the best. At the end of the day, Moose Nation still grows strong wherever he goes. Rachel Ellering versus Jordan Grace. Good match. Back and forth action between the two, or pertains to the Tesla strip and all that. Rachel Ellering or Rachel, some endurance in this match too, and all. Jordan Grace showed a lot of power in this match too as well. And also showing a little cocky and a little arrogance and all that, especially her tripping on Rachel Ellering when she left the ring at one point. But it was that back and forth action between the two, a lot of hard hitting too, training pinfalls and the pinfalls until Rachel Ellering got one up on her and got the win. Trick Grace was shocked and all that, shook hands on that, and then left the ring after that, and that was it. So yeah, I don't know if they are going to be leaning a heel turn for Jordan Grace. I don't know if that's going to be the idea behind it. I don't think that's a good idea, because once again, now with Nevaeh breaking up with Havoc, I can understand it, because Nevaeh didn't want to be there no more. Because Jake Chris is not there anymore. Those two are married, so I can understand why they broke them up. But at the same time, they should have a better story finish of that, instead of Nevaeh just breaking up just for sake of breaking her up, just for she wants to just for her to leave. That story should have been resolved, in a better way, a better term. But in this case, Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering should not be breaking up. I don't mind them doing their own thing, but I don't want them to turn on each other. I don't want that to happen, especially when it pertains to they don't have enough women's tag teams in Knockouts right now. And I gotta say this too, I don't remember if I said it before. I did my reviews for Impact Wrestling, but where the hell is Killer Kelly? Killer Kelly has been wrestling for Impact Wrestling for a while, and we know where Renee Michelle is at. Wrestling a lot in the Indies, and they're wrestling a couple of times in the AEW, even appearing in AEW on Dynamite, which is sort of being a playing fan and all that. But I can understand why she doesn't show that much on Impact Wrestling. But Killer Kelly, I see no reason why she can't show up in Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, what are you doing? Killer Kelly, as soon as that WWE failed on her back in the days of her being the main Classic, and with her being on NXT and NXT UK. So it's your opportunity to bring in someone like Killer Kelly, which they did, but then they never signed her. I don't get that. Even fans demanded for Impact Wrestling to sign a Killer Kelly. So what the fuck are you waiting for, Impact Wrestling? Brian Myers refused to put over to put his rivalry with Matt Cardona to reset, and all of a sudden, as he's cutting his promo and all that, where it tends to Matt Cardona, speaking of his rivalry with Matt Cardona, talking about how he lost to him where it tends to Matt Cardona being in the qualifying match, and then he didn't even win it. Now, credit here, Matt Cardona didn't lose the match, but still didn't win, because Chris Sabin was the one who lost the match. But then Brian Myers said you're still putting down Matt Cardona, saying what a joke that he beat him to be in the match, and he didn't even win it. So he's like, what a waste of a spot, what a joke and all that. Also, Matt Cardona comes out of nowhere, and then Brian Myers just beats him up, and that was it. So they're still continuing this feud. I think it's going to keep leading up to this feud between these two all the way to Slammiversary. I doubt the match is gonna if they do have a match against all odds, I doubt it's gonna end from there too. I think it's gonna continue on until we get to Slammiversary. So we'll see how that turns out. And the main event, the Impact World Tag Team Championships. The Tag Team Champions, Finn Juice, David Finlay, and Juice Robinson, versus Ace Austin and Matt Fulton. I see myself. So I understand why they couldn't save it until against all odds, because the Juice are going back to New Japan. That's why. And yeah, it's great too, because that means they got things under control now. This whole coronavirus situation from overseas in Japan. Because And that's nothing too. Oh my God, Okada had a COVID-19, and I didn't know this person had COVID-19 either. Who's never overweight champion, which I'll get to when I get to it. But I'm pretty sure as I said that you probably don't know who I'm talking about, who won it, and who is it right now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna Google it to find out yourselves. But I digress. But I just couldn't believe it when I heard about that. Now obviously they're okay though now, but we'll see how it is when I get a chance to get back to talking about more about that from just doing New Japan's talk, but yeah, that's part why because Finjuice are because everything's is doing well right now for now. Now Finjuice they can go back to New Japan, but the question is will they go back with the tag belts, because again they're gonna be gone for a while, because I'm assuming they're gonna compete for in these tours for the next event for New Japan, and yeah, we'll see. Let's get to this match here, and we'll discuss why they're not gonna be there at against all odds as well. So, but I think they will be back like later on, like during the build up for Slammiversary, and I'll get to why once we get to it. So yeah, Finjuice versus Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. They're getting this out of the way because again, Finjuice is going back to Japan, and it's part of the reason why they're not going to have a match against all odds, because they're going to be staying there, and they're going to be going back to New Japan to do their things in New Japan, and it's unfortunate what happened here with Ace Austin and Madman Fulton because they lost. But the match itself, it was decent, a decent tag team match. The one to the pinfall here was Madman Fulton. He took a stunner, and then another stunner, and then the Pulp Fiction, and Finjuice got the win. So yeah, Madman Fulton suffered a loss. Not a fan of that. Same time, I didn't want Ace Austin to lose either, but same time, it didn't help out either of their cases at all. Especially the this monster, Madman Fulton. So yeah, that was it for that match. But wait, not so fast, because all of a sudden, for whatever reason, Violent by Design comes out. And some of women, why are they coming out? Also, I see Joe Doring and his cowboy hat, like he always wear, with his fur coat. He's in his wrestling gear. I'm saying to myself, huh? Rhino coming out. He's in his wrestling gear too. And I'm like, I don't understand. Forget about Diener. Diener to me is a joke. Eric Young leading the charge. They get in the ring. And then I realize Rhino's got the what's it called again? The Koya Shot cup that he won back at Battle for Glory, where he could get a title shot of any title shot he wanted. And now I understand. And now why they're doing this to Finjuice, because they're gonna be leaving to go to Japan either way. So what they need, and they need the tag belts here in Impact Wrestling, so that's why they did it. So the match happened. It was a short match, obviously, because Finjuice were all warmed out already, and they're going to these two monsters in Rhino and Joe Doring. So of course they won, and so yeah, they won, and they're the new tag team champions. And I'm live, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome and everything. And all of a sudden I see Diener, shouting out like and everything, and I say to myself, oh my god, he ruined the moment for me. He just ruined the moment for me. Like you shut your mouth, you calm down. Like, you didn't win anything because you're a loser. You're a jobber of that faction. So that's all I gotta say from there, folks. But they won. They Rhino and Joe Doring are tag team champions. Fine by Design got tag team belts here. So yeah, I loved it. So there you go. And the show didn't end from there, because we also get to another Our World Changes Again vignette for Slammiversary. and they show something different this time. Now they show the same persons like Samoa Joe, Mickey James, Laura Vaness, Chelsea Green, whichever you want to call her, Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Tetsuya Naito, and they show something where it pertains to and obviously they show the American, not American flag, the Mexican flag. I think I recall seeing the Mexican flag and then the Australian flag, and they show written words that says forgotten, representing Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler, who was Steve Cutler, who got fired months ago back in January, which he got fired in a bullshit way. Wesley Blake got fired because budget cuts. But yeah, remember Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler with Justin Riker, the Forgotten Sons. So they put the words there, forgotten. Steve Cutler is out there in Indies wrestling. So I don't know what his name is I don't know what his name is really. It tends to what he's going by, what name he's going by. Because I thought either if he is going by Steve Cutler, I don't know if that's his real name or not, but he's dating on the Process, by the way. So that would not surprise me if he is gonna be part of Impact Wrestling when July comes around. For Slammiversary. Wesley Blake though, they're teasing that they're coming. So they're gonna be called Forgotten. That's gonna be the tag team, Forgotten. And they could use that because when it pertains to the Forgotten Sons, that was a stable, a 3-man stable. So they can call them Forgotten. They just can't call the Forgotten Sons. So that's the WWE properly name. So, and then you got a word that says, well, I want to say words, the letters of 2 eyes representing the Iconics. Now they can't use the names Iconics, which is to Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, just like they can use that name, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Because that's probably a WWE. WWE owns those names, especially the Iconics name. So when it comes to the 2 eyes, they're basically I think that's supposed to be the names. I'm assuming that's what they're gonna call it, the II, which is, to me, if that's the name they're gonna go with, that's dumb. It's dumb. Maybe they'll call the Iconic Impacts or the Impact Iconics. Oh my god, I don't know what's gonna represent. I don't know what's gonna mean, but we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. If they are gonna be there and Impact Wrestling, which that'll be fine. If they go there too, because the Knockouts Tag Team titles needs, the Knockouts Tag Team division, to say, needs those 2 to be there to build up more of the Knockouts Tag Team roster. And let's see, what was this show? I'm trying to remember who else this show. I mean, not who they show. Oh, letters they show. I'll get to that one letter that they show. But I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. Wait, before I get to the one word, the Mexican flag represents Cerrado del Sol. Is it Cerrado del Sol or? Samurai del Sol, the former Kalisto. But yeah, because he represents Mexico, and he might come to Impact Wrestling. But if he does, that means he'll be part of the exhibition, which which is good. Now they show something else too. They show Bullet Club, the logo of the Bullet Club. So they're teasing. So basically, they're teasing that Bullet Club is coming to Impact Wrestling. So we'll see if that ends up being factual. And the final word in Muse, the last word in the Muse. Oh, hold on a second, folks. Samurai Doso. Yeah, I was right before. I think I said it before, right? Samurai Doso. Sorry, folks. Now we're just going dark. Just give me one moment. Let me go back to home page. All right, 1 second. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get right back to the lights here. In fact, let me pause. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. So yeah, the one word they showed too was the word. How about if I show you, folks, the word? Since I'm kind of glad I got this with me too here. So here's the word that they show. When they was promoting once again to promote Slammiversary coming July, which tends to our world changes again. Yes. So they're teasing for Slammiversary that we're going to be seeing. Now they're really stretching this whole thing out and really reaching for us to buy Slammiversary just for us fans to be duped that Bryan Danielson, the former Daniel Bryan, is becoming to Impact Wrestling. You may have him with Bullet Club because Bullet Club and New Japan, obviously Bullet Club came from Japan, because Impact Wrestling and New Japan are working together now. So especially when you got El Fantasmo there, so I can understand Bullet Club coming there, which will be great. I believe Bullet Club coming to Impact Wrestling at Slammiversary more than Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon. Yes, coming to Impact Wrestling. Now, as far as Samoa Joe, it's up to him if he wants to go to Impact Wrestling. But to me, I think he should go to AEW. Mickie James, she can go wherever the hell she wants. Impact, MLW, AEW, NWA with her husband, Ring of Honor, which is Women's of Honor. She can go wherever she wants. As long as I see hardcore country again, that's all I want to see. Laura Vaness, Chelsea Green, whichever one she prefer. But in Impact Wrestling, she's known as Laura Vaness. But Chelsea Green, she can go wherever she wants too. If she wants to be in Impact Wrestling with her husband, boyfriend, I should say, that's by all means too. Which hot irony too, by the way. Tina Dashwood used to date Mike Cardona, and now Mike Cardona and Tina Dashwood working for the same company in Impact Wrestling, and Chelsea Green might be going there too. The irony of that. But everything's all good and all. Mike Cardona and Tina Dashwood are good friends, so Kalisto, who's Samurai Del Sol, I think he's a good fit there for Impact Wrestling, So I believe him going there, if he wants to go there. The Iconics, I can see them coming there too. But will they go there? It's up to them. Especially with Peyton Royce, if she wants to go to AEW, to be with her husband. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. New Japan guys, like Okada, Naito, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I even believe those guys to go there, because they're working their back to relationships with Impact Wrestling, New Japan. I believe those guys that's gonna show up there more than Bryan Danielson showing up there Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling has a better chance of bringing in a CM Punk than to bring in Bryan Danielson. Oh, I love you, Impact Wrestling. Sometimes I even hate you. And last year, you may have got me with that shit, but you ain't gave me again this year. Not even the word yes that you show to end the show, then you're gonna have me convincing that Bryan Danielson, one of my all-time favorites, going into Impact Wrestling. Dan Bryan has a better chance going to AEW than they go to Impact Wrestling. Hell, he's got a better chance going to New Japan than they go to Impact Wrestling. But you know, either way, if he goes to Japan, he could still go to Impact Wrestling. So, but I don't see that happening with Bryan Danielson going to Impact Wrestling. So, he's got a better chance to go back to WWE, to do some with them, than they go to Impact Wrestling. And it's no offense to Impact Wrestling, but sometimes I gotta do that to Impact Wrestling because they did it before last year. They got me once, and then they gave me again this year. So it's only a matter of see what happens. So that's the best thing I could do. So I'm not getting my hopes up, and neither should you. And we're just to Double Nothing. Don't get your hopes up for the Casino Battle Royale of the mystery guy. Don't do it to yourselves that you're expecting to see Bryan Danielson or CM Punk there, because if you do that, you're only disappointing yourself to failure, and say that, oh, this pay-per-view was a flop and all that because they didn't show up. Because you allow yourself to thinking that there's gonna show up. So don't do it. Don't do that to yourselves. Especially with this how Impact Wrestling is doing it right now with teasing Bryan Danielson coming to Impact Wrestling at Slammiversary. Hilarious. But there you go, folks. That's my and yeah, that was basically the end of that now. So that was it for Impact Wrestling, the show from trying to remember the date now. Oh yeah, May 20th, meant to say 2021. Tomorrow wrestling with 6 matches, including the clear shot cash-in that by Design did, because Rhino, keep in mind, won that Battle Royal back in Battle for Glory. So yeah, 6 matches were amount, and my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna give the show an 8 out of 10. Very good show. Good show overall. So, that being said, thank you for watching, and I am finally all caught up on Impact Wrestling. Now all I need to do now is get catch up with AEW and with a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, that being said, thank you for watching for Isn't That Your Born Driller, saying peace on the streets. You all take care.